Well, it's girls and boys night out in Married at First Sight tonight, guys. UK Season 9, Episode 31. And we start, of course, with all the couples getting ready, as we always do in these episodes. And we'll just focus briefly on Polly and Adam. I'm not going to show you the audio video of that because it's stuff you've heard before, but they're going around in circles with the same discussion. And the same discussion seems to be Polly telling Adam, you're not understanding me, you're not giving me what you want, or what I want, and I'm not happy about it, etc., etc. And I think Polly's in that stage where she needs to decide now, if Adam never changes, do you still want him? And maybe Adam needs to say the same thing in his brain about Polly. If Polly never changes, do I still want her? I think if the answer's yes, then carry on. If it's no, then don't. Because, you know, you have to accept facts sometimes that your partner may not give you that one thing you really desire, but are you okay with that? There's loads of other things. They may be great at cooking, great at, DIY, great at fixing things, but rubbish with their romantic chat. Are you okay with that? Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of exchange you have to make when you marry someone, because no one is absolutely perfect. Then they go out to the meetups, and I have to say, guys, it's great to see some of the old cast back. The girls are back, and Emma's back, and I've missed Emma. She's fun. Charlie's back. All the other ones who we've seen exit, they're all coming back. Orson's back, guys. Casper's back. All chatting together, and we have them asking Amy about Luke and stuff, and Amy giving the same thing about how she doesn't trust him, and blah, blah, blah.
Lies, a lot more coming out from under the sheets. I feel like I never know what's going to come out of his mouth next.
Oh, babes, I'm so sorry.
We're still here, though. We're still trying. I'm not sure where it's going to go.
Good for you, though, for still trying.
Yeah.
Because that's shit, that.
And we have Sasha and Ross talking about how much in love they are, and not mentioning at all Ross's temper. And we have Polly and Adam, of course, bringing up the same old stuff. But it's interesting what they say, but I'm just like, it's getting very repetitive now.
We were discussing our highs and lows, and it was pretty much negatives, what he didn't like about me. He couldn't say what the favourite memory was. He couldn't tell me how he felt about me now compared to the wedding day.
Didn't he say after the homestead that he did feel closer to you?
But this is what I mean.
Family? I don't get it. Honestly.
Imagine being me.
I was trying to fucking shake him.
It's just jarring. It's so frustrating, like it is, because I do really want to be with him.
I know you do.
I was at the point where everything was cool. Went to her homestay, everything was perfect. I seen a different side to her. She was chilled, and last night we ended up bickering. She wants more intimacy, she wants more cuddles and kisses, she wants words of affirmation. She's trying to craft me into her perfect man, and that's not me.
So hard, and when you start losing yourself, it's like, is this me? What's going on?
Then we have the great moment of the first quarter of the programme. Hannah arrives, and Hannah bursts into the room, and Holly immediately on the attack. The other girls immediately on the attack, asking her, how many husbands have you stolen since we last saw you, etc., etc. And it's entertaining. She's denying, Shannon's there saying, well, you've met up with Ryan. She denies it. But Orson's already told us that he has had one date with Hannah since leaving the show. But yeah, so now they're going to grill Hannah further. Why did Hannah even agree to come back? She knew this was going to happen, surely. But all the mean girls, as we call them, they're all back together, ready to pounce. And pounce, they're going to.
Oh, look what the cat's dragged in. Fuck me, Hannah! Wow, that was intense.
I mean, there's Frosty, and then there's what I just walked into. It's a lot. There's a little bit of animosity.
There is a little bit.
Obviously, I don't know you, so what went down?
I mean, I don't even know where to start.
You left your mark. You did leave your mark.
How many husbands have you ran off with since you've left the experiment? Okay. Do you want to do this now or later, babe? How many?
Later.
How many have you linked with?
Honey, I'm not going to have you speak to me like shit.
How many have you linked with?
None.
That's a lie.
What are you talking about?
You're meeting up with Ryan.
Oh! No, you haven't.
Well, Hannah's return is going just as awfully as you'd expect it to, guys. The girls really do kick off. They do drill down, especially Holly, who is kind of accusing Hannah of lots of various bits and bobs of lasciviousness, as you can imagine, and accusing her of, you know, seeing Orson, he's only 20 minutes down the road, he's the quickest lay, all that kind of stuff. And Hannah's saying, I haven't slept with anyone, although she does admit she's met up with Ryan, but only once, I think. But yeah, it's just awful. The whole thing it's an absolute car crash. The funniest bit for me, though, is Holly saying to the camera, I'm not confrontational. I mean, has this girl watched back any of her videos? She's one of the most confrontational people in this entire series.
I don't know you, but you are sliding into everyone's DMs.
What, are you talking to him actively?
We went out a couple times. We've made a bit of a friendship because I think we've both, like, tried to have someone to talk to in the whole situation because of everything that's happened.
Did you message Ryan first? Or did he message you?
Yes, I'm going to take that as a yes.
I'm not sure.
So she did.
I think we put an Instagram story up.
And you reacted?
Yeah, I think so. Coming out of an experience
This
and
is
not
why
having
we will never
anyone
be
else.
friends because you got
Can you just
zero
let me
girl
speak? Yeah, but
code.
let me just speak. That's me coming out of an experience and not really having someone to talk to about it or like what's happened. I know you lot are all in
So you
group
went
chats
to the
and
guy
we're
that
not.
you'd been flirting with?
We're
After
literally.
Orson wouldn't show you the time of day anymore?
No, I still speak to Orson. Orson lives down south and Ryan lives 20 minutes from me.
So it's the quickest bang, innit?
Well, I've not banged anyone, so no.
It's just a principle. It's just
We're literally friends. You're all in a group chat and you've all had the support from each other and I haven't, and Ryan doesn't feel like he has either. And that's all it is.
Fuck about what
Yeah, but that's
Ryan
all
has
it is. I
and
feel
what
like
he
everyone's
wants.
sitting here
I
being
don't
like,
give a
I've not
fuck.
shagged him. We're friends.
You apologised to me for doing that to me and then snaked me the minute you got.
I've not snaked you, Shannon.
If your apology was genuine, you wouldn't do that.
Why is it such an issue that I've made friends with someone that you used to be with if
Because
we're
it's
not friends?
fucking girl code.
You ain't that long, mate. Her bed's still warm.
Nice.
You're one of those girls that you sniff out and you worry
You
about.
don't know me. You've known me for a week.
Do you know what, Hannah? Like, I'll tell you what my problem is with you right now. You have got a zero girl code. You have got no respect for women. You would rather get your pie filled than be fucking
But I
friends
haven't
with
slept
girls.
with anyone.
I'm sorry, but honestly, I just really can't stand you even being in this room right now.
Holly.
That's
No,
fine.
I'm sorry. No, I'm gonna stand my ground.
But you're not listening.
How would you feel if she met up with Adam? How would you feel if
No,
she
I
met up
know,
with
I know.
Rob? How would you feel if she met up with Casper? Do you know what I mean?
Maybe they've made this connection as friends to have somebody to speak to because this experiment is fucking stressful.
No, we know
And if they've met up as friends, everybody doesn't need to attack her. Yes, she came in like a hurricane. Yes, she went in on everyone. Yes, she caused some problems, but she doesn't deserve to be attacked like this.
I'm just gonna take 5 minutes.
I'm not one to be confrontational, but when something's passionate to me, I'll express it. I mean, Hannah and Ryan met. Like, can she get any more thirsty? You have to be wary with girls like that.
And she thus proves she is when she comes back in the room having walked out in a huff and takes Hannah aside for a little pep talk and just goes in on her. And, you know, to the point where Hannah just can't even respond to her because she's not being quiet to listen to any sort of response. So Hannah, understandably, is feeling rather dejected and rather bullied. I mean, Amy does come to Hannah's defence, to be fair, and says, you know, we shouldn't really treat her like this. And she's right. You know, at least hear her out. She was part of the process. You may not like her behaviour, but she's there now. What are you going to do? I mean, I don't understand.
So I said what I said because I didn't like the way that you didn't interact with the girls and I felt like you was moving on everyone's man. If I feel something, I say it. And I just didn't like your behaviour.
And that's fine. I get that. I own it, whatever. But when someone walks into a room, you don't have to make a comment like that and then shout at me and scream at me and come at me in front of
Do
everyone.
you know what?
could've-
If you can't take the heat in the kitchen, don't step in the kitchen. Sometimes you have to have a taste of your own medicine. It's not nice, is it?
I wouldn't do
It's not
that.
nice, though, is it?
I wouldn't do that to someone.
But it's not nice, though, is it?
You're not listening. You're
No,
just
but answer my
speaking
question.
at me.
Is it
and
nice?
raising your voice
Is
at
it
me.
nice?
It's not. This isn't necessary. You're
But
just
answer
raising
my-
your voice at me.
Hannah,
you're not
you don't
listening.
like hearing facts with receipts.
No, you're just not listening.
Is it nice disrespecting
We're not
someone
having
and
a
getting it
conversation.
back?
It's not the same.
It's embarrassing, innit? Felt like a little dickhead, didn't you?
Not really.
This big.
Didn't really bother me because I knew you'd do something childish.
Childish.
Yeah, it was pretty
childish.
childish. It was pretty childish.
You sat on the couch at the retreat telling my husband how much of you're a slag and you shag loads of man around you, and
What the fuck are you talking about? What
did you not say that? Can I vouch? Did Hannah say
Right, Polly, you're just sitting there fucking
a bit,
coming at me for everything.
Bye.
You're honestly behaving appallingly.
Bye. No, your behaviour is unacceptable.
You're just shouting at me.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? If there were men in
this.
this room, it'd be a different story. You don't like facts with receipts.
Okay. The way Holly is coming at me and the way she's speaking to me is very disrespectful, and it feels very, very childish to me. We've established that we're not going to be friends. Leave me alone.
Then, of course, to make things even hotter in the old steam room, they have Ryan return, and Stephen is there. Stephen looks just as sour-faced when Ryan comes in the room as he did at the previous country retreat, where he said he was going to shoot his shot with Shannon. And yeah, things are not great, and then it is revealed by Shannon that Stephen asked her on a date, but she said no. And of course, Stephen is now about to be confronted about this, and Hannah has rightly made the point that why is it okay for him to do that and ask Shannon on a date, but it's not okay for her to have dates with Ryan or Orson. Fair point, Hannah.
That is the biggest load of shit I've ever heard in my life. I didn't ask her on a fucking date.
Have you spoke to Shannon since leaving?
We've had friendly conversation, but I've had it with everyone. I've had it with Emma, I've had it with Rochelle, I've had it with Holly.
Is that you coming out as an absolute slag?
I find Flanner attractive, and she's a lovely girl. I don't want to go on a date. And also, like...
So, Stephen, do you think Shannon's lying? Is she lying?
I definitely haven't asked her on a date.
So Stephen gets a grilling, and he denies her asking Shannon on a date. And then gradually the boys, in their own unsubtle way, keep drilling and drilling at him until basically everything he tells them sounds like he asked her on a date. So, yeah, there you go. Oh, it was so embarrassing. It's toe curling, guys.
So where do you think this whole Shannon
I think the comments come from. I haven't asked her directly on a date, but we've had banter, and my comments like, if you lived closer, I don't know what the words for words are. If you lived closer, I was even your, like, would there be a date? It wasn't her.
And what did she say?
I think her response was a polite rejection, you know?
Well done for being honest. That takes a lot.
His story did change, but I'm not shocked at all. I think he's embarrassed by getting a rejection.
And then we have the moment the gold envelopes come out and people are asked to comment on other people's relationships and lift them up and then criticise as well. And Luke and Amy come under the microscope, and Amy, of course, tells the girls her problems with Luke. And then Luke decides at the end of it all just to ask the boys on the table, okay, be honest, raise your hands if you think Amy is not happy with me. And all their hands go up, and Luke looks completely lost.
Yeah. On the last couch, I put leave and he put stay.
Okay.
I said I'll try, but then we went on final dates, and another lie came out, and I walked out again.
How do you feel now?
I've got my wedding ring back on. We have had happy times, but trust is everything. So, I don't know.
Let's just clear the air whilst we're here. I mean, I'd love to hear the other. Who else around this table doesn't think that Amy's happy with me? And just be honest and put your hand up. We talked about honesty.
I'm minds off, like, way up.
Oh well, maybe they can see something that he couldn't. I mean, I think he's been trying, to be fair, but I think the problem is she doesn't like him. She just doesn't like Luke. It's like a brand that she's gone off. And I think he'd be better for someone else, because clearly she doesn't enjoy the sexy banter. She doesn't enjoy the compliments he gives her and all that kind of stuff. And she doesn't trust him above all. And maybe there are loads of other skeletons in his closet. We don't know. He said he'd had 15 previous relationships. Maybe there's loads, guys. Maybe there's tons that we don't know about that will gradually come out. I don't know. But At the end of the day, if she doesn't like him, she doesn't like him. And there's no point in dragging it out, is there? Well, obviously things between Luke and Amy are on shaky ground, but you know what, guys? Luke is determined to win Amy over. So, well done, Luke. At least he's got that sort of determination. I respect that. But at the end of the day, I think he's going to fail miserably. Now, moving on, we have Polly and Adam focused on for the last bits of the programme, and Adam really not able to say that Polly is the girl for him in front of the boys. So he's clearly still very undecided about it. And as we know, those of us who have been watching from episode 1, that lack of decisiveness has followed him throughout the entire season. So I'm not really confident that it's going to work.
How I'm feeling right now.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I said I want to yes or no.
Just let him answer it.
How
There's got to be
I'm
context.
feeling right now. I don't know.
Is she your person?
I thought she was. Like the first few weeks we was getting on perfectly. I've never felt so comfortable with someone so early on. I'd known her about 2 days and I felt like I'd known her 6 weeks.
And one thing you've had all the way through is a good friendship with Pauls.
Yeah, we've always laughed and always got on. I think that's why we've lasted so long, because I've been trying to like fight for it to work. It's just a head fork. I just don't even know what to think anymore. My head's scrambled.
Final vows coming up, mate.
I know, but it's one of them where like there's so many positives. We still do get on. It's just something I've got to decide, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, mate.
And then we also have the girls talking to Polly and saying, you know, Polly, you've changed so much for Adam over this process. You're a shell of your former self. And I did think, has she really changed that much? If anything, I think she's pretty much been consistent throughout the programme. When it first started, I thought she was quite nice and gentle and everything. But as the show's gone on, sometimes her outbursts are quite, like, you know, rude and mean. And I think that's a bit difficult to deal with. I mean, I couldn't deal with that. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes, yeah, an outburst is justified, but sometimes her outbursts are just way too much for me. And I think also Adam probably doesn't like that either.
That I have put in 110% for Kieran. Would you say to your friend...
I'd say fuck him off.
Exactly. Listen to yourself. Listen to what you tell everybody else.
No, I know.
You need to take that now, Cole. Seriously. I noticed a change in you, Paul. Yes. You know that.
You are like a fucking shell of yourself. You don't realise how much you've changed for him, and he doesn't realise that either.
Fuck me.
You are about to, I'm sorry.
It's true, Polly.
I know that I've changed, but hearing it externally, that's a huge, huge knock for me. It's a real battle at the moment between head and heart.
And me.
So we are going to see in the next episode the final. Is it really the final dinner party? Exactly who's going to perhaps cross that line and make the final commitment to be wed. And won't that be wonderful? I think some of you think none of them are going to get married, but I think Nathan and Lacey will just about do it. Maybe Sasha and Ross actually do it. But I know they split up later on, but maybe they got married anyway for the show. We shall see, guys. Thanks as always for watching. Leave your comments below and let's talk about this. It was an interesting episode. It was quite entertaining. What was your favourite bit? I wonder what Hannah's up to now. Bye.